Hello and welcome to Nationwide News on the network service of the NTA. I am Nolene Ebel-Ame with the news. We begin with judiciary, where the Supreme Court has upheld the declaration and return of Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the duly elected President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The seven-man panel of justices headed by Justice Inyang Okoro in a unanimous verdict dismissed all the two appeals challenging the victory of President Bola Tinubu in the February presidential election. Austin Aibe of our Judiciary Desk reports.
The Supreme Court commenced the judgment with a ruling on whether to admit fresh evidence which bordered on the deposition of alleged forged certificate by the President. While it held that it has jurisdiction to hear the application, it refused to accept the fresh evidence as it will amount to opening the case all over. The court held that appellant failed to take advantage of the 180 days provided by the Electoral Act 2022 for the determination of petitions to obtain the document sought to be tendered from Chicago State University. On the main appeal, which formulated 7 issues for determination bordering on non-compliance by INEC to the Electoral Act 2022, refusal to extend time for additional witnesses and documents, 25% requirement for a candidate to win presidential election as it affects FCT, electoral fraud, among others, the court resolved all against the appellants and upheld the decision of the Election Petition Court. The court dismissed the appeal in its entirety. The Supreme Court, equally in the appeal by the presidential candidate of Labour Party, Peter Obi, having adopted all resolutions reached in Atiku's case, dismissed the appeal.
To congratulate the leaders of the opposition political parties, because it is better for them to resort to judiciary, which they have done so.
It's about everybody. It's not about a party. It's not about an individual. And if we do not come together now, then we'll have ourselves to blame. Opposition is not, you don't oppose for the sake of opposition. Elections are over. Litigation is over. All litigation must come to an end. Now is the time for governance. Distractions over.
I want to salute the judges of the Supreme Court as well. It was straight to the point. And I believe that this judgment would be seen worldwide as that which is in line with global best practices in law.
Collected or having the status quo, you must not win FCT before you are declared President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That FCT is like another state.
The judgment put to rest all contending issues about the 2023 presidential election. From the Supreme Court, Austin Anyebe, NTA News.
Similarly, Nigerians can now expect more dividend of democracy from the current administration, as President Bola Tinubu says his full concentration is now how to deliver good governance that will improve the socio-economic life of the citizens. The president was reacting to this Thursday's Supreme Court verdict, which gave final validation to his victory in the February 15, 2023 presidential election.
An energizing spirit and a challenge to work harder without distraction from this moment on. We've concentrated on pulling Nigeria from the trap of depression and we understand the sovereignty of the country. You don't need additional distraction to be able to concentrate on building a new economy for the people, an inclusive one for that matter. And the judgment of the Supreme Court put a stop to shenanigans, put a stop to innuendos, put a stop to lies or trial in the media and public place. The court has demonstrated in this visible commitment to rule of law and humanity, and their commitment to do justice for all Nigerians, regardless of it, ethnic, religious, or any other biases. So we use the strength of our diversity to build a stronger and prosperous Nigeria, and that's my belief.
Meanwhile, National Chairman of the governing All Progressives Congress, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, has applauded the Supreme Court decision which upheld the victory of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the presidential election. Ganduje, in a statement, said, "This has wrested all claims by the opposition political parties that the votes at the presidential poll were manipulated in favor of President Tinubu." Ganduje remarked that the outcome now paves the way for President Tinubu to concentrate on implementing the renewed hope mandate and urged the opposition to join hands with President Tinubu to reposition the country towards sustainable growth and development. We now join Lanre Blaye live in Lagos for reactions to the Apex Court verdict. Hello, Larry, can you hear me?
Thank you, Nolin. Nolin, the first and the second report from the president reflects the stance of major Lagosians that I talked to before I come on here. They say it's a form of a closure to the whole episode, that this court thing, the court saga, the two leading opposition challenging the presidential election has been a nagging thing behind the backs of Lagosians that we don't know where it's going to. But with the judgment, it sort of closed the curtain on the whole episode. Now, I've been able to hold down Mr. Festus Kehinde, a retiree. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you.
So your take on this judgment, sir?
Oh, thank you. My take is simple. This whole thing has been known for more than 180 days now. The electoral jurisprudence and constitutional democracy in Nigeria has been on trial. And that is the beauty of democracy. When you are aggrieved, you go to court. I want to commend both Mr. Peter Obi and Alhaji Atiku Abubakar for believing so strongly in our judicial system. And thank God that our laws of the land is capable and is adequate to take care of electoral matters. With this judgment, I think all of us will be satisfied. Satisfied because the eminent juries has based their judgment on issue of the laws. Not sentiment. This is not a social media judgment. It is not newspaper or media judgment. Media was not on trial. They look at all the issue critically and look at it that, oh, justice must be served. And with this, we have seen that justice has been served.
So we cannot move on.
Do we have a winner? Yes, we know there are no winner, no vanquish. Nobody has lost anything. It is just democracy that we are being on trial. And the beauty of democracy is to give fair trial to everybody. And this they have done so well. I would just think that by now, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar will find it in his heart to now congratulate the president, because the voice of the people is the voice of God. People have spoken, the judiciary has actually confirmed it. And with that, they should just go ahead, congratulate the president, and let us move ahead. Mr. Obi should equally do the same, so that Nigeria can move ahead.
All right.
We have been on standstill for long. Now it's time for action. The
ahead.
president should also now look at it and say, no, my people are voted for me. I'm not there. This is not for governance. Governance.
Thank you very much, Mr. Festus Kehinde. Yeah, well, you've heard it from Lagosians. There's nothing more to add from here. Nolin, heads up.
All right, thank you very much, Lanre Blaye. And in a similar development, APC Coalition for Good Governance and Change Initiative has described the judgment delivered by the Supreme Court as historic and landmark. This was immediately after the judgment delivered by the Supreme Court in favor of President Tinubu on the applications filed by the two major opposition presidential candidates seeking to disqualify President Tinubu. Coalition for Good Governance and Change Initiative embarks on victory rally in the city center with placards carrying various inscriptions to celebrate what it's referred to as historic judgment in the annal of the nation's history. The group says the apex court verdict has brought to an end the prolonged legal battle by the opposition candidates of PDP Atiku Abubakar and Labour Party Peter Obi against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's victory at the February 25 presidential election.
The victory of democracy, social justice, equity and fairness. To us, the judiciary has done an exceptional job by delivering the most sound judgment ever in the history of election petition in Nigeria. By strengthening critical issues of legal dichotomy, democracy has indeed won.
The APC Coalition for Good Governance and Change Initiative urged all parties to embrace outcome of the highest court in the land and close ranks for meaningful development under the renewed hope agenda. We now have joining us in the studio to shed more light on the Supreme Court verdict, Dr. Kayode Shijuade, a legal practitioner. Thank you and welcome to Nationwide, sir.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right. Well, the Apex Court has given its verdict on litigations concerning the contentious 2023 presidential election. What's your reaction to this?
Well, first of all, I would say today is a historical day in Nigeria, and I'm sure everyone is happy that we have a closure on this matter. I mean, this will not be different. We will have noticed that since 1999, all presidential elections have been contested up to the Supreme Court. So this was no different. However, the Supreme Court has laid all issues put forward before it to rest. This will be because we have a new electoral act, which was just passed last year. So this threw up a lot of issues to be resolved. For example, the issue of electronic transmission of results, the status of voters in the FCT, substantial compliance with the Electoral Act, and the rest of them. So we're happy all these issues have been resolved and laid to rest, and Nigeria can move forward.
All right, looking at the judgment, among issues that came up was the, of course, court declining to accept new evidence after arguments have closed. Any comment on this from you?
Well, you see, our judicial system, our practice is that you do not surprise your opponent in court, as in you don't surprise the other party. So whatever evidence you are going to tender before the court is supposed to come with your case. If you are going to file your petition, for example, all the evidence you are going to lead in court must be attached to that petition so that the other party will have ample time to also respond. This is fair hearing, is our practice and procedure in Nigeria. So after filing your petition, you will not be allowed to file further evidence or further documents after the date, the time limited, which is 21 days, limited for you to do so. Because if you're allowed to do so, then the other party may not have the opportunity to respond to you, and that will be against fair hearing. So that's, I mean, it's a no-brainer. That's our procedure in Nigeria. All
right. They said there must be always an end to all litigation. Do you have something to say on this?
Yes, of course. The parties have vented their, their concerns at the election petition tribunal. They've gone to the Supreme Court. That's the highest court in the land, and the decision of the Supreme Court is final. That is the end of it. There must be end to litigation. We have done this within the past 3 months, I think, and it's time to move on. It's time for nation building. There is no winner or loser here. The winner is Nigeria. And even the opposition parties are part of Nigeria. They are part of the government. Therefore, I wish that all of us come together to lift this country up, to work out, because we need that right now. So there must be end to litigation. Thank you.
All right, thank you for your thoughts on Nationwide, Dr. Shijuade Kayode.
Thank you very much for having me.
Meanwhile, reactions have continued to trail the verdicts of the Supreme Court, which dismissed the appeals of Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi for lacking in merit. Respondents from Abuja who spoke with our correspondent Salwa Khalil Ibrahim described the verdict as well-considered judgment.
We are all happy to see President Ahmed Bola Tinubu over the victory of court judgment today. Not more than that. As you can see, everywhere is quiet and people are happy because he's performing a lot.
We, the citizens, let me put it that way, we believe in their good judgment. We don't have any choice. We believe that whatever they are people of seasoned judicial experience. So it's not just like when an elder says something, he's right.
Nigerians, we should join hands together and support President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to transform this country to the core, so that we need someone that can handle this country with care and deliver.
And they should not be ashamed of pleading with people who can help them. You don't need to be in the party.
My call is for them to, lay all things what in their mind to come, so that we at least help the country, help the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to, renew hope agenda, so that we can renew the Nigerian hope.
Haruna is also standing by in Kaduna to give us reactions to the Supreme Court victory. Over to you, Haruna.
Okay, thank you. Well, it has been a long-awaited day by Nigerians, and today the Justice John Okoro-led panel of the Supreme Court have delivered its verdict on petitions filed by the PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar, as well as that of the Labour Party Peter Obi. The verdict has led to rest agitations as to who truly won the 2023 presidential election, and the constitutional requirement, and have met the constitutional requirement as laid out by law. Nigerians have been reacting to these, and I am standing at a post office junction, the popular post office junction in Kaduna Metropolis. With me are some Nigerians who wants to also react to the verdict of the Supreme Court today. So, what is your name, sir?
My name is Abdelatif Abdelkarim, a resident of Kaduna.
The Supreme Court has delivered its verdict, and how do you react to this?
Yeah, the Supreme Court judgment today is a welcome development. It has given positive credence to our electoral process. It shows that all what is done are done according to the constitution of our land, and that's a very, very welcome development for us all in Nigeria. In a situation like this, in an election like this, one person must win. And the Supreme Court has declared that the person that is elected is the one that had been sworn in. That is my take on that.
Okay. Now that the Supreme Court has delivered its verdict, what is your expectation by the president?
Now that this case has been rested now, I think the president now should have no more distraction. He should go ahead and put the nation on the positive pedestrian he promised during the campaign, during electionary campaign. So that is what we are looking forward to. There should be no more distraction. There's nothing now to hold him back now. He has been confirmed as the president, so he should go ahead and do the needful for the country.
Okay, thank you. With me also is another Nigerian who wants to also say something about the verdict by the Supreme Court today. So what's your name?
Alhaji Suleiman Dauda.
Okay, how do you react to the verdict by the Supreme Court today, sir?
To be sincere with you, all we need to say to the judiciary today is congratulations to them, because they have really did what they are supposed to do in terms of clearing their names, clearing the air, making Nigerians feel confidence again in them. Because before today, a lot of people are thinking otherwise. But today it has cleared the air. The air is being cleared, that our judicial system is up and doing, and they should really want to see better and really justice in this country, so that Nigeria will forge ahead. Because if there is justice, everything will move accordingly, because it will fall in place. All the other institutions will fall in place. But when you have no confidence in the judicial system, everything will collapse. But today, with this, we say congratulations to all of them, all the judges that have sat down to do this thing. May God continue to bless them and give them the courage to do more, to teach other ones that are coming back.
Okay. Finally, now, what's your expectations now?
Now that everything has put to rest, work should start. Work should continue. Tinubu should go ahead, irrespective of whatever it is now. He has all the chance to do what he's supposed to do for Nigerians, so Nigerians will be happy with this government and will forge ahead. We really are anticipating better government in this country through Tinubu.
That's as much as we can take from here. And just earlier, before the reacting by the president, President Tinubu reacted to the verdict by the Supreme Court, describing it as justice being served, while calling and adding that it is time to build a stronger nation.
That's right, Haruna. Thank you very much. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, has reacted to the judgment of the Supreme Court in the petition filed by the PDP and presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar against the declaration of the All Progressives Congress APC and Bola Ahmed Tinubu as winners of the February 25, 2023 presidential election by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. In a statement by party spokesman Debo Ologunaba, the party said it was disappointed about the Apex Court's reasons for affirming the victory of President Tinubu and urged party supporters to keep on supporting the party. We now have to join our Port Harcourt Center via TVU to take reactions from Port Harcourt on the confirmation of President Bola Tinubu's victory at the Supreme Court. It's our correspondent, Robinson Director Day, with this. Robinson, go ahead.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, let's feel the pulse of Port Harcourt residents on this.
The situation in Port Harcourt is very calm. The truth is that during the last presidential election, Port Harcourt and River State people voted for the presidential candidate. And so it appears that they are not surprised at the ruling of the Supreme Court. And we have a cross-section of some Port Harcourt residents who are here to bear their minds on the outcome of the Supreme Court. Today, it appears everything is calm. People are going about their normal businesses. Why do you think this is happening at a time like this?
The people of Port Harcourt are very happy indeed. We appreciate the ruling of the Supreme Court. Of course, our leader saw it yesterday before others could wake up. We know, even though we are PDP leaders in the state, we appreciate what the ruling that the Supreme Court have done today. We appreciate that, and we know that the people of Nigeria will stand to see a new hope of Nigeria. A reformed Nigeria is coming up.
Okay, sir, what do you think will be the impact of this judgment on democracy?
The impact of this judgment to democracy is to tell Nigerians that democracy have come to stay. People should stop looking at legal matters as people who are in the market square. Legal matters goes with constitution, and the Supreme Court has spoken. Ahmed Bola Tinubu, who won election, today Supreme Court has affirmed it, and the people of Port Harcourt, River State people, are indeed grateful that at the end of the day they have not been misled by their leader.
Okay, so finally, sir, can you tell us, now that the legal issues are over, what should be the next step in the country?
The next step to the country is things will start coming normal. Business will now be stabilized. The dollar will start falling. When you look at today's market, you will see that the dollar has started falling. So shall it be falling till it get to a level where Nigerians will say, truly, the leader have come to be.
We have more people here who still need to speak on the development in the country. Sir, please, tell us. Tell us. Okay, as it stands, the people of Rivers State are saying that now that the legal issues are over, the aggrieved members should try as much as possible to join hand with the ruling government to ensure that the country is developed and things are done in the way it should be. So please, can you tell us what should be the next step to take now?
All right, let me start by saying my name. My name is Honorable Ugo Dandiro. It's a nice thing that this case has ended. And I want to tell Nigerians that it is better for us to do all we can to win elections. But after elections, let us stop about cut this, cut that, and all that. But now the cases are over. It's time for governance. Everybody, no victor, no vanquish. Nigeria is one, and Nigeria is for all of us. Let's join our hands together and make Nigeria great again. Thank you very much.
The consensus is that every Nigerian should join hands with the ruling party to make Nigeria great again. Now that the elections are over, it is the expectations that things will get better and things that are expected to be done by the government will be done.
Yes, thank you so much, Robinson, for the contribution from that end. And still on reactions, former President Muhammadu Buhari has commended the Supreme Court's decision affirming President Tinubu's victory. In a statement released by his former media aide, Garba Shehu, the ex-president emphasized that the verdict reaffirms the collective will of the majority of the people. He also conveyed his best wishes to President Tinubu and his team as they continue to lead Nigerians through the renewed hope agenda. We now join Abubakar Musa in our Maiduguri Network Center for more reactions from that end. Hello, Abubakar. Let's feel the pulse of Maiduguri residents on the Supreme Court's judgment.
Of course, you can say that again, Nolin. Borno State has a serious stake in the presidency, with the Vice President of Nigeria, Senator Kashim Shettima, being an illustrious son of the state. Moreover, Borno is predominantly an APC state since the return of democracy in 1999, having started with APP. The people here are not only in the APC, they actually believe in the principles of the party. Therefore, like the verdict of the Presidential Election Petition Court, the final verdict of the Supreme Court did not come to them as a surprise. Well, let us at this point talk to a resident of Maiduguri to tell us his opinion on this. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Larry Obadia, or good afternoon to you once again.
Good afternoon, how are you?
I'm fine, sir. Sir, please go ahead.
Well, the verdict of the Supreme Court today, I think, is a thing of immense joy, not to me as a person, but generally to the residents of Maiduguri. Like you know, Borno is a largely APC state, and apart from being an APC state, we have all identified with the ideals of this government, particularly the vision and the mission of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The fact that he won the elections conducted in February this year, hands down, was not in contention. But naturally, politicians are a breed of people who do not like to give up and always believe that they can create something out of nothing. So it was not a surprise anyway when Laya Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi decided to go to court. But like the justices of the Supreme Court did say today, there is an end to litigation. There is only how far you can go. They have done what they could do, but we knew all along that justice was substantially done in that election because Bola Ahmed Tinubu won this election hands down. It's funny where somebody who could not even score 25% in up to 14 states of the nation or 15 states was talking about a stolen mandate. Where was the mandate that was stolen? Bola Ahmed Tinubu was a major candidate in that election. He was the person that was to beat, and he actually showed that he has the support of Nigerians because his victory was not in only one part. He's from the south and west, but we know that he had tremendous votes in the northwest, in the northeast, in the north central, in the southwest. He even made substantive inroad into the south-south. So what are we talking about? What we have today with the concurrence of the Supreme Court and the affirmation of the presidential election petition tribunal that earlier on confirmed his election actually shows us that indeed victory of Bola Ahmed Tinubu was well deserved. It is the will of the people and it could not have been better. And I think from now, what we can just say is we expect the entire nation to queue up behind this man who had a success story as governor of Lagos State over 8 years. He has an opportunity to turn Nigeria around. We know that there are challenges. We know that the economy is bad. It's a global thing. But we know we have a man who is in a position to fix the situation. We know we have a man who has the intellect, who knows how to identify the talents and the individuals that can help him in governing and in administering this country. I think Nigeria can only be better. From now henceforth, we can expect to see developments because the distraction which all these petitions has caused is over. And without any distraction, the president can now concentrate fully on governance. And that governance, I'm sure we are going to have the dividends of governance, especially here in Borno State, because definitely Borno, we do not know any other party. It is just APC.
We appreciate you so much, Mr. Larry, for being part of Nationwide today. Well, you've heard it from here. Nolin, it's back to you now.
Thank you very much, Abubakar. Let's pause here for our first commercial on Nationwide. We'll be right back. Thank you for staying with us on Nationwide. And to other news now, as women strive for more roles in governance, they must endeavor to match the expectations and images of the offices they seek by acquiring needed etiquette. Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, stated this while opening a 3-day seminar on protocol and security organized by her office for wives of top government functionaries and female officials in Abuja. Understanding protocols as well as having security awareness, the First Lady says, is important to executing their various offices.
From people who have walked that path before. So good etiquette requires consideration, respect, and honesty. Security awareness is crucial for us to be able to identify risk, threats, unsafe and unusual behaviors, and to take appropriate measure to safeguard ourselves, our families, and our assets.
Papers, including the Nigerian police, the executives, and the law, delivered by the IGP Kayode Ebektokun and the State Security and the executives presented by the Department of State Security, highlight the need for synergy among protocols and security details attached to VIPs, while emphasizing the need for VIPs to be more intentional about their conduct around personal staff on of the social media. The minister, which had as participants wives of state governors, female legislators, and other top female officials, also had former First Ladies, Dame Patience Jonathan and Ajoke Murtala Mohammed in attendance. Hingino is in our Lagos studios with more news on Nationwide. Good evening, Hingino.
Good evening, Norlene. The federal government is set to revitalize the health sector through addressing maternal mortality rate and ensuring that all health institutions in the country operate at optimal level. Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, Dr. Tunji Alausa, disclosed this during a tour of federal government health institutions in Lagos. Bolaji Akim completes the story.
The mandate of ensuring a holistic turnaround in the national health sector tops the priority list of the Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, Dr. Tunji Alausa. This informed his visit and on-the-spot assessment of some federal government health institutions in Lagos State, which include the Nigerian Institute of Medical Research, NEMA, Federal Medical Library, and the Federal Catholic Hospital, Yaba.
We'll get every support you need from the ministry.
While interacting with the staff of the various health institutions, the minister said the present administration is working towards rejigging and changing the narrative in the health sector.
At the end of his administration, we'll have sustainable health care that delivers the best care to our people. The citizens are the center of our world. They need to get the best care, like any civilized society.
The minister was also at the Lagos State Government House Marina, where he informed Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of the federal government's readiness to partner with the state in improving the health sector.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has given us the mandate to reshape, revitalize, and get Nigeria healthcare delivery system to where it should be, where our citizens will have comprehensive healthcare.
Lagos State, is more than ready and prepared, to come up with all of the various steps that will ensure that health is not only accessible, it's affordable.
For the minister, the tour of the health institutions was an eye-opener to the challenges confronting the institutions, which he promised to look into. In Lagos, Bolaji Akim, NTA.
With the federal government exploring digital economy to create more jobs for the teeming youth, experts in information and communication technology, ICT, have called on the government to ensure adequate protection for local businesses. The experts expressed this view as they examine the gains of digital economy. Larry Bilei has details.
Digital economy involves economic ventures requiring skills and sales of goods and services to meet specific demands using the internet. One of the renewed Hope Action Plan of President Bola Tinubu is digital economy, with the aim of harnessing the nation's youthful population and ensuring they are gainfully employed.
Before, the only way you could watch this interview is to have a TV, right? But today, you can upload this video on YouTube and people would watch it, right? Now, you uploading it on YouTube, you start having numbers of followers, right? The more followers you have, the more you might be able to generate some income, right? So that is, digital economy.
With federal government's commitment to making the sector one of its focal points, what expansion possibilities would it have for those already exploring it?
It will expand the opportunity of exports, and in which Nigeria will be in line as countries like US, Indians, who are actually taking the opportunity of digital economy to move their youth forward.
So what you notice is that more employment is created because of the ease of doing business.
Collection, analysis, and use of information to deliver goods and services to clients will require some technical know-how and training. ICT experts are urging federal governments to invest in mitigating attendant issues associated with digital economy, such as protection of confidential data of persons doing businesses online, cybersecurity to check activities of fraudsters, and environmental concerns. In Lagos, Larry Bilei, NTA News.
That's it from here. It's now back to Norlene in Abuja.
Very well, Hingino. Thank you very much. More reactions have continued to trail the judgment in favor of Nigeria over the $11 billion contract with PNID. The latest reaction from Africa Network for Environment and Economic Justice, ANICH, commends the Nigerian environment for its resilience at fighting corruption. Ilyas Yakubu reports.
Reverend David Ogolo, Executive Director, Africa Network for Environment and Economic Justice, while addressing a World Press Conference on the judgment, commended the Nigerian government for sticking to the side of truth that saved the country $11 billion. He said this is a victory in the fight against corruption. He therefore urged Nigeria and the UK government to ensure that those behind this grand corruption are exposed and prosecuted to serve as a deterrent and also end the culture of impunity in business transactions in Nigeria.
It is a collective responsibility. Nigerian civil society, the media, we should all work together to continue to hold these individuals accountable. We must fish out these individuals that are destroying the country in collaboration with foreigners.
It will be recalled that the PNID sued the Nigerian government over a violation of the terms of agreement, which the London court granted them $11 billion as compensation. Consequently, the Nigerian government challenged the judgment and won. In Abuja, Ilyasu Yakubu, NTA News.
Salamatu joins us from our Kaduna Network Center for more on Nationwide. Hi, Salamatu.
Hello, Nolan, and thanks for joining us here in Kaduna. Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, Bello Muhammad Waranyo, says he will ensure operations at the Water Resources Institute, Kaduna, is strengthened by enhancing its capacity and securing increased funding and manpower to enable the institute fulfill its mandate. The minister made the commitment while on familiarization visit to the Water Institute to assess ongoing projects, programs, and challenges within the institute. Achari Maxwell reports.
National Water Resources Institute Kaduna is the only institution in the country with the mandate to build capacity in water resources sector, carry out research functions in all aspects of water resources and development. On board in that ministry will make it a point of duty to familiarize with activities and facilities on ground. This is his first visit since his appointment as the Minister for State, Water Resources and Sanitation. Like his predecessors, he is at the Institute to prepare for the tasks ahead by ensuring food security under the renewed hope agenda of the present administration. After a tour of major facilities, the minister believes that the needed capacity is on ground for the Institute to take off as a degree-awarding institution.
In this country, people are coming from all walks of life, all nooks and crannies of this country. We have seen the novel, projects that are being commissioned in this institution, particularly which has to do with hydro engineering, which has to do with technology, the new advanced technology in terms of in the area of dam assessment and other reservoir operations. I believe we need to do more in this area, and I want to call on the MDs of River Basin to continue sending the students here for capacity building.
The minister also interacted with the management, staff and students, as well as participants on induction course at the institute and the entire community. In Charles Maxwell, NTA News.
And to improve the quality of education, Kaduna State Government to enroll 10,000 vulnerable children, including the Almajiris, into conventional schools to enable them acquire Western education. Haruna Mohammed reports that the Commissioner for Human Services and Social Development, Rabi Salihu, disclosed this in a meeting with Almajiri school teachers and clerics in Kaduna.
It is an interface of leaders of Tandar schools and Islamic clerics with the Ministry of Humanitarian Services and Social Development in Kaduna.
On the table is a Almajiri phenomenon and how best it can be improved upon. One after the other, the Islamic clerics give suggestions and solutions towards improving the Almajiri system in the states.
So welcome idea, so we are supporting this program, Kuma, and we are very happy. We are really appreciated because this is our aims and objectives, because we need to improve the Sangha institution, to reform the Sangha institution.
We have long anticipated this and we are ready to give our support for the success of the program. Kaduna State Commissioner for Human Services and Social Development, Ravi Salisu, says the government is willing and ready to work with the ulamas towards ensuring that children are given the necessary attention and exposed to opportunities that are abound.
Now they have agreed for us to take the children from Sangha school back to the Western school and go back to the Sangha school and continue with their Islamic education, which is a great achievement to Kaduna State government. And they also thank Mala Obasani, distinguished Senator Mala Obasani, the executive governor of the state, for giving them this rare opportunity that it is even among the first or second in the northern part of the country.
The Nigerian school teachers and leaders agree it is heightening the advance the course of seeking for knowledge that will give equal opportunity to the Nigerian children to compete favorably with their counterparts in Kaduna. NTA News.
And that report completes our package from here. Let's rejoin Norlin again in Abuja. Good evening.
Good evening, Salamatu. Thank you very much. Senate Committee on Army has presented a copy of the 10th National Assembly Legislative Agenda to the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that Chairman of the committee, Abdulaziz Musa Yaradu, made the presentation while on oversight visit to the Nigerian Army headquarters, Abuja.
Members of the Senate Committee on Army on oversight visit to the Nigerian Army headquarters. It's their first official meeting since the inauguration of the 10th National Assembly in June 2023.
We cherish the feedback that we receive from you, formally and informally, and that has helped in the refining of our operations and other tasks that we conduct in the field.
After a closed-door briefing on ongoing operations and activities of the Nigerian Army, the chairman speaks.
I want to assure the Chief of Army Staff that all challenges that have been highlighted in this interactive session, we as a committee on Army will make sure we do our best, and I assure you that we'll give you our total cooperation and support.
The committee also presented a copy of the 10th National Assembly Legislative Agenda on Army to the Chief of Army Staff.
We have a document, a working document, with timelines as to what we want to achieve within the next 4 years as Committee on Army. That's why we decided there was need for the Nigerian Army to give its own input, because we need to know what they want.
He noted that the National Assembly is committed to ensuring a safe and a secure Nigeria. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
The People's Democratic Party's governorship candidate for Kogi State, Senator Dino Melaye, has assured the people of Kogi East that he will enhance their living conditions if elected. The rally held at Awele Islamic Primary School in Ankpa local government area brought together party members from all 9 local government areas in Kogi East. Correspondent Michael Abije reports.
Senator Dino Melaye, along with his running mate Hajia Habibat Mohammed, thanked party members for their support and highlighted the area's untapped mineral resources. They promised to use their experience to transform Kogi State into an industrialized region.
When I become governor, the people of Igala land will enjoy what they are enjoying in Adore. They will enjoy what they are enjoying in rivers, what they are enjoying in Delta. We will make sure development comes to Igala land and Kogi State.
One Kogi, one destiny.
Some party members expressed confidence in the candidate's abilities to bring the benefits of democracy to the state.
This candidate of PDP, he has all the qualities.
Dino is well-traveled, exposed, and experienced.
If he succeeds, he will do many things for Kogi State. We will enjoy road, we will enjoy everything in Kogi State.
The PDP campaign to other areas continues. Michael Abuja, NTA News.
The Katsina State Police Command has destroyed cache of illicit drugs worth millions of naira. The exercise is in compliance with a court order to destroy hard drugs impounded by men of Rapid Response Squad of the command. Awal Haliru reports.
The destruction of the hard drugs marked the beginning of the move by the Katsina State Police Command to raise the state of the activities of drug peddlers. The State Commissioner of Police says the destruction is a clear message to drug cartels that Katsina is a no-go area. He added that the command will intensify clampdown on drug traffickers, assuring the public that youth will no longer have access to hard drugs.
The call to Katsina State, especially the youth, that they should desist from going into drugs, either selling or consuming it. It destroys the nation. It also encourages them to go into crime.
He also called for more synergy among other security agencies for effective fight against drug trafficking in the state. The destroyed items include bags of cannabis sativa and other hard drugs impounded at different locations across the state. Awal Haliru, NTA News.
And that concludes Nationwide today. Thank you for watching. I am Nolene Ebel Ame. Good evening.